So recently I've been checking out a few sound libraries by GC Radix, which is a German game audio company. They have a couple of interesting libraries, and especially this paper one here is kind of special because it's just full of a variety of different paper, cardboard, folio recordings. And if you have seen a couple of my videos, you probably know that I like to use paper recordings for a lot of different stuff. I just think it's very versatile and useful, and so this just contains a lot of useful stuff. So first I want to create some longer textural sounds. So I'm looking for paper sounds that kind of could work for this. This is kind of the stuff I'm looking for, so a bit longer sounds that are already quite dense. So I'm just going to be using one of those. I think I'm going to be using that one. So let's maybe just get rid of thing at the beginning here. Pretty sure that I would end up pitching this one down anyway, so I can just do it right away. And I'm also probably gonna create a copy of this and layer it at a lower pitch. But let's start processing this one first, and then we can still duplicate it. So the first step is gonna be just enhancing the sound. So I'm gonna be using saturation, distortion, transient shaping, just to make it sound a bit bigger, maybe at a bit more low end. And then in the second step, I'm probably gonna use a couple of plugins just to add some flavor, I guess, just to make it a bit more interesting, a bit less dry. Then the first step is gonna be the filter movement that I guess is kind of very defining for this kind of sound. Anyways, let's start. For this kind of stuff, at the moment I really like using Orion. Just add some low end here, also some grit, and also boost the lows a bit, I guess. Then, of course, let's use Decapitator. There is no formula or anything for this. You can use different plugins. I'm not always using the same plugins, but this is kind of, some of these are my staple plugins that I like to use. Just a bit here, then also Saturn. Let's not use the tape here, it's a bit too dull. Right, and then maybe let's start adding some transient processing. Just duplicate that one. And then maybe even layer some transient master onto this. And we could also use some spiff. Okay, this could be something like our first step. Processing chain, just to enhance the sound a bit. Now let's duplicate this, and I just want to add a lower pitched version. Fade this out as well, and reduce the volume of both. And then we can also group these. And I guess I'm gonna put the processing on the group and just deactivate it here. So as a side note, maybe keep in mind that processing the group will give you a different effect than processing the tracks individually, even though it's the same effects. A different signal is being pushed into all these plugins. So especially with a low end heavy track in there, the sound can change quite drastically. Put a limiter there, and then we can keep processing. So the next thing, as I mentioned before, is gonna be adding some kind of flavor to this. These will be plugins that I'm probably gonna be activating and deactivating later on, depending on the sounds I'm using and depending on the variations I want to create. But what I really like is to use some flanger, just at a very low mix setting typically. And also a phaser can be nice. Also, of course, at a rather low mix setting. And then some more obvious or extreme effects could be, for example, manipulator, depending on the settings you're using. For example, I really like this preset here. But yeah, obviously it changes the sound quite drastically. This is gonna be maybe relevant for some versions. And something I also like to use is vocoding. So either with the Ableton vocoder or with M vocoder, and route this to the group here. Obviously reduces the punch quite a bit, but it's an interesting texture. We can also group this. We can activate the activators when we want to change the sound a bit more. And now about the main movement. This is kind of this low end rumbly, low pass filter sound. There are different ways to do this, and I'm just going to show you some that I like to use. With Ableton, you can use any EQ or any filter you like, and this envelope folder here. And the way I like to do it is just map this to the frequency here. You can kind of control it here with the percentages, also with the gain. So that's one way to do it. If you're using Ableton at least, then also if you have Enrage, you can use the envelope follower or the transient that they have here. Put a filter there. Let's remove the resonance. We can use this on the cutoff as well. In here, I prefer this transient. So here with the time, you can control how quickly it goes down. This one works quite well too. We also have minimal audio hybrid filter. That one's quite easy to set up as well. Just again a low pass filter. And then with the modulation knob here, you can control it. Just put the frequency down. And you can get this, again, low-end rumble, depending on your settings here and depending on the source sound. The interesting thing about that one, I think, is this low crossover. So you can make sure that anything in this area is not affected by what you're doing, no matter the settings here. Can be quite useful too. Then I guess the classic one that most people know and use, I'm assuming, is Filter Freak, of course. So that one has been around quite a while. Let's just set them to maximum, frequency down. We already have the low pass filter in place. Then it's just a matter of setting the threshold and the attack here. Then also FabFilter Volcano can do this. You can either use envelope generator or envelope follower here. Just set it up like this, and then again it's a matter of setting the threshold. Control the envelope with the settings here. I would say the one that I'm probably using the most, I think, is by kilohertz, the audio follower here. Just add a filter here, and then I'm gonna add this to the cutoff. One that I've started to use recently is Infiltrator. I think that's one I've been kind of sleeping on, maybe, I don't know. This has a nice modulation here as well. You can re-trigger with the audio. And then set the envelope here. And you can also combine this. That's something I like to do with pitch shifting. Don't really want this to be pitched up. I just want it to be pitched down. And then I feel like once you have a chain like this set up, you can just start playing around with different sounds. So this is maybe one. We could also, let's also look for shorter ones here. Yeah, I think this one is quite interesting. Just use one of the other versions here to layer it. Reduce the volume here. Pitch both of them down. This one a bit more. Let's see what this sounds like with manipulator or vocoder. Works quite well, I think. Let's also check what some other stuff sounds like these ultrasonic recordings. Especially because I like pitching stuff down, so just to give you a better idea of this. This is the original. If I pitch it down, there still is a lot of information actually, so that's why it's kind of useful for sound design. Let's see what we get with this one. Yeah, just created a copy of that one, pitched it down again. We could even use some of these gore sounds. I guess we're gonna use Bone Crusher for this one. It was a close tie between that one and the Neckbreaker. Let's just layer with maybe the ending here. We can also try actually pitching this down with one of the warp functions. That could be useful too. Let's go back to the paper sounds, and I'm gonna be looking for something a bit more punchy and short for this one. So let's go to the impacts. And let's layer this also with something else. Has a bit more of a tail, still a short one. Alright, something I also like to do then at the end is to use something like Traveler just to make certain things a bit more punchy, and also this helps to create a bunch of different versions of everything. Let's just remove the stereo here and shift this to the left. Oh, now I'm just gonna record a bunch of these. And then we can also try these with a bit more effects. Maybe try this one with the vocoder. So now we have created a few sounds, and then we can see what happens if we start playing around with those. Let's just group this again, create a copy, and then pitch this one down. And maybe this mechanical one could also be good here. Let's put an EQ on there for sure. Maybe also use some enhancement. And then I would probably actually add one of these filter movements. And of course, again, you can use the same effects that we have seen before. For example, we could also use this one again. We don't want this to be on the entire time. Let's maybe just automate the dry wet here. So we don't want anything here at the beginning where we want the punch, but in the tail we can activate it. I hope that I've shown you a few useful techniques on how you can create punchy and interesting textures from recorded sounds.